Série indienne, 10 immenses classiques pour regarder l'Inde dans les yeux.
Good morning, Roshni. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you for coming.
So
You've just arrived from India. You have been doing the illustrations for the Roshni Vyam by Kalidasa. Tell us maybe when have you started to draw and how did you become an artist? Was it a choice from your very childhood or did it come with time?
Yeah, actually, you're right. It was my choice from my childhood, basically. I saw always my parents drawing at a house, at workshops. So I was following them. So they were making an artwork, like big artworks. And I was so impressed by those colorful artwork by my mother. And my father at that time, he used to do wood sculpture a lot, but then later on he started colorful work as well. So it was my big inspiration, and that's how I started my drawing. I also have one picture where I was doing this colorful work I was 5 years old. So I can say that yes, I started from my childhood.
Very early. And
yes,
all your family, maybe your uncle as well, no?
Yes. He's the one who started this art form, which we globally call as Gond art form. So, but I personally would like to call it Jangan Kala. His name is Jangan Singh Shyam. And he started this artwork in the beginning of 1982. Mm-hmm. So when he came to Bhopal and he started working at Bharat Bhavan, he was exploring with lot of techniques, lot of colors, and that's how he started making figurative drawing. Mm-hmm. He started working on traditional stories. So yes, he was also my biggest inspiration.
So you live in Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
And you speak about Gond. So Gond would be the ethnic, how do you call it, the group?
Yeah. So if I say Gond is a community, tribal community, lives in Madhya Pradesh. Mm-hmm. And I belong to Gond Pradhan community. So Gond has a subdivision also. Mm-hmm. So from that subdivision, I belong to Gond Pradhan. And Gond Pradhan's work, basically, they are priests. They play an instrument called bana, and they tell history of our ancestor, of kings, and of god and goddesses. And they are their work to do all art and craft. So that's my legacy that I'm carrying on with this art form. And later on I studied textile design from NIFT College, Bangalore. So my motive is to take this art form forward with many other techniques, like I'm trying right now with textile techniques as well. And as you can see that I have already illustrated other books like Over and Underground, Bhimaina as well. I have worked with Bhimaina. I have worked with Tara Book Publishing. So it's a great experience, I would say, that I'm getting through this art form into publishing house. Yeah. Yes.
And if we speak about your technique more in detail, because we can see on your drawings a lot of colors. Mm-hmm. And a lot of dots and small lines. And is it an inheritance from traditional forms of tribal art, or is it something new which you have brought maybe from a textile experience?
It's not new, actually. As I told you, Gond is a community, tribal community. At that time, when my uncle has started this work, as he was decorating his house with this digna, we call it digna, actually, all those decorative art form, what we were doing on wall and floor. So since we belong to Gond tribe, and that's how they started calling it
Okay.
Gond art, you know.
And you're trying to make the habit
Yes,
change.
yes. So of course, my uncle was always rooted to his Digna art form. He started a figurative drawing, and then he said everything should look very beautiful, like, you know. So when he did a flat color, he started putting all Digna designs on the figurative forms. That's how he started his own style.
Yes.
And by seeing his style, his nephew, his community member, they started doing this one. So I guess we got this design, our own signature from him. So if you will see in our community, there are a lot of artists, but they have their distinguished designs. You know, you can even recognize by their designs that it's their art form.
Yeah. If we come now to the Raghuvamsha, so you have illustrated this poem by Kalidasa. It's made out of 19 chants, so you've made 19 drawings for each of the chants. Did you know this work before?
Well, of course, I knew about Raghuvansha before. It was in our syllabus. Of course, we were reading poems by Kalidasa in school times. But in very deep, I started reading it when I started working for the illustrations for all 19 chants. And when I started working with that, I was like lost in his poetry. You know, it is very good.
And so a lot of the story of the Raghuvamsha, even if you didn't know it in detail, the poem before, there's a part of the story which you probably knew, the story about Rama and Sita and Ravana.
Yes. Any people in India, they would know about Ramayana and Ram Sita story, and that's how we celebrate Deepavali as well. So everybody knows. But about other kings in Raghuvansha, they are like, they would be, I mean, some people would not know about them. Like, for example, Raja Dilip. So he was like, Kalidas has described very well about all those 22 kings in Raghuvansha. So that's how, I mean, of course, I knew before working on Raghuvansha, I knew more about Ramayana.
Than the other kings before
yes,
and
exactly.
after. Yes. Can you maybe describe one of your illustrations? Why did you illustrate it this way? And because you work with a lot of like layers, most of the time one above the other, like various scenes happening at various times, which are gathered on one illustration.
I can describe one scene in my illustrations where Raja Ram is leaving Sita behind in forest, and Sita has lot of thoughts. She didn't even know that, like, if I'm going to be here in my whole life. First, she thought like maybe Raja Ram brings me here just to, show the scenery, because I was missing the jungle life and also. But then she did not know. And then later on, when she knew that, like, Ram wanted me to be here through my whole life right now, and he's abandoning me here because of the pressure of all other...
because we can explain when he brings back Sita to Ayodhya, other people say, okay, but she's impure in a way because she was captured by Ravana. She spent her months, years, maybe, I don't know.
Yes. So it's not good to have her here. I don't know if
it's not auspicious.
Yes, exactly. So Ram has lot of thoughts about it, but then he decided that okay, for the good of all other people, I should let Sita in the forest. And when he was leaving in the from the forest, Sita could just imagining his shadow or maybe feet. So she also accepted what his wish was. And then she was doing pranam to Ram, and she accepted all those, I can say. So I think I was very much dwelled in this scene, and there are a lot of other scenes where I felt like, okay, how it was like at that time. It was like a era of truth, and era of the responsibility of one son, one king. So that's how I have depicted in whole of my work.
Thank you very much for this wonderful work, for your time, and for all the things you explained us, which are very interesting for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roshni.